I have learned to seek my happiness by limiting my desires, rather than in attempting to satisfy them. It is not because men's desires are strong that they act ill, it is because their consciences are weak. Both teachers and learners go to sleep at their post as soon as there is no enemy in the field. After the primary necessities of food and raiment, freedom is the first and strongest want of human nature. It is better to be a human being dissatisfied than a pig satisfied, better to be Socrates dissatisfied than a fool satisfied. The love of power and the love of liberty are in eternal antagonism. He who knows only his own side of the case knows little of that. It is given to no human being to stereotype a set of truths, and walk safely by their guidance with his mind's eye closed. One person with a belief is equal to the force of 100,000 who have only interests. The liberty of the individual must be thus far limited. He must not make himself a nuisance to other people. I believe in spectacles, but I think eyes are necessary too. No slave is a slave to the same lengths, and in so full a sense of the word, as a wife is. Language is the light of the mind. There have been, and may be again, great individual thinkers, in a general atmosphere of mental slavery. In every respect the burthen is hard on those who attack an almost universal opinion. Those only are happy who have their minds fixed on some object other than their own happiness. War is an ugly thing, but not the ugliest of things. Society between equals can only exist on the understanding that the interests of all are to be regarded equally. Everyone who receives protection from the society owes a return for the benefit. A great statesman is he who knows when to depart from traditions, as well as when to adhere to them. An objection which applies to all conduct can be no valid objection to any conduct in particular. Liberty consists in doing what one desires. The fatal tendency of mankind to leave off thinking about a thing when it is no longer doubtful, is the cause of half their errors. The test of real and vigorous thinking is successful application to practice. A person who cares for other people, for his country, or for mankind, is a happier man than one who does not. Genius can only breathe freely in an atmosphere of freedom. A world from which solitude is extirpated is a very poor ideal. No man made the land. It is the original inheritance of the whole species. He who lets the world, or his own portion of it, choose his plan of life for him, has no need of any other faculty than the ape-like one of imitation. All good things which exist are the fruits of originality. Over himself, over his own body and mind, the individual is sovereign. The individual is not accountable to society for his actions, in so far as these concern the interests of no person but himself. We can never be sure that the opinion we are endeavoring to stifle is a false opinion, and if we were sure, stifling it would be an evil still. Next to selfishness, the principal cause which makes life unsatisfactory is want of mental cultivation. Command and obedience are but unfortunate necessities of human life. Society inequality is its normal state. Governments must be made for human beings as they are, or as they are capable of speedily becoming. There are many truths of which the full meaning cannot be realized until personal experience has brought it home. He who does anything because it is the custom makes no choice. Men marvel at the absurdity of other people's tenets, while exactly parallel absurdities remain in their own. It is not good for man to be kept perforce at all times in the presence of his species. All silencing of discussion is an assumption of infallibility. To refuse a hearing to an opinion, because they are sure that it is false, is to assume that their certainty is the same thing as absolute certainty.